Hi everyone, welcome back to our channel. I hope you and your family members are doing good because that is the most important thing, and for rest we are here to talk. So we were following our pattern wise Rising Brain DSA sheet, and in this we were doing the array topic. Inside it we have started our prefix sum pattern, and today we will do the fourth question from this pattern, which is continuous subarray sum. So let's read the problem statement. The problem says we will have an integer array nums and an integer k. We have to return true if nums has a good subarray or false otherwise. Now let's see the definition for good subarray. It says a subarray is good if its length is at least 2. Okay, means the subarray length can be 2 or more than 2. And the sum of the elements of the subarray is a multiple of k. Okay, means the summation which we will find for that subarray, it should be divisible by k, because multiple of k is nothing but divisible by k, right? Yes. Note that a subarray is a continuous, of course we know, and an integer x is a multiple of k if there exists an integer n such that, yes. So basically we have to find a summation of that subarray which is a multiple of k. So if you see the example number 1, it says ki yes, we have 2 plus 4, 6, which is multiple of k, 6. But this alone number is also 6, but it won't be a good subarray. Why? Because number 1, the minimum length required is 2, and in this case it is only 6. And number 2 reason, of course we have already found it, so we won't look for other. We will return true then and there. Now let's see the time constraint. Constraint says the num's length can vary up to 10 power 5, and you know that beyond 10 power 8 we might get TLE, and n is 10 power 5, so brute force approach, which can go to n square, will become 10 power 10. So hence in this case we have to optimize our code. One more key point, remember the nums of I, like value will be positive only. Okay, all these points you have to remember, because during the optimization all this will help us to identify which pattern to apply. So the problem says we will be given an integer array and we have to return true if we found any such subarray whose length is minimum 2, and the summation will be multiple of k, means it should be properly divisible by k. Yes. Okay, so let's see the brute force approach. Then of course to print subarray we know we always start a pointer from here. Okay, so first number we want this. So we will see all the subarray which starts with this 23. So we need another pointer j to keep a track of every number starting from 23 to number forward. Yes. So can I say I will have 23 as a subarray, then 23 and 2 as a subarray, then 23 and 2 and 4 as a subarray, then 23, 2, 4 and 6 as a subarray, then 23, 2, 4, 6 and 7 as a subarray. Correct? Now the question said that good subarray is only that which has at least 2 lengths. So can I say this is not valid? So it means that wherever I am starting my I pointer, don't start your j pointer from the same index. Otherwise it will consider single length subarray also, which is not required. So hence can I say my j pointer will always start from I plus 1? Yes, I can say. Because if my j starts from I plus 1, then definitely the first subarray will be of 2 length. So hence I can delete this. Number 2, I want the summation which should be divisible by k or multiple of k. So what is the summation for this first subarray? Is 25. Is this 25 is a multiple of k, or is this 25 properly divides by k? No. Now what is this summation? 29. Is this properly divides by k? No. Now what's this summation? This is nothing but 35. Is this 35 divisible by k? No. Now this is 42. Is this 42 divisible by k? Yes. Hence I have found my subarray whose summation is divisible by k or multiple of k. Okay? Yes. So I know by using 2 for loops and by taking the help of subarrays, I can simply find by using the if condition, if that summation is a multiple of k, we will return true. Yes. So I am saying we will start a for loop for I pointer which will start from 0 and it will go till what? Nums dot length? Why? Because j is starting from I plus 1. Let's consider n and I plus plus. Okay. Now I am saying I will start my j loop from I plus 1. Yes. And I want to run this j till n. Yes. Now if you see, if I am putting this I pointer at here, correct? Now next time j will start from there, and that does not make sense. So hence we will allow this I to only run till n minus 1, so that if I stops here, then I can start my j from here, and hence that is a valid subarray. Okay. Now inside it what I want the summation of subarray. So definitely second subarray will give me the summation from this point to all the points. Yes or no? To all the points? Yes. So I want the summation na First I want 23, then I want 23 plus 2, then I want 23 plus 2 plus 4, and so on. So hence I want a summation variable sitting in sum, sitting here. And what do you think? Should we initialize with 0 or should we initialize with the first number? Think. Because my j starts from this number now. So j don't know about this index. So our sum should start from 0 or it should start with 23. Yes, 23. Why? Because j can't travel back. So j only knows from 2 onwards. So we want 23 also in the summation na. So hence we will always start our sum variable with nums of I. Yes. And inside this we will do sum plus is equal to nums of j. Okay. After adding this only you should check if the summation is valid or not. Why? Because I need at least 2 sum na, at least 2 length. So hence. Now what we will do? We will see if our sum modulo k is equal to 0. What is our task? Do we need to count? No. We have to return true then and there. So we will return and end this for loop. Okay. So basically, and after coming out, what do you think? What if we won't found any such summation? So it asks now, if there is no such good subarray, you can return false. So after coming out of these for loops, we can simply return false also. Return false. Okay. Now see the time complexity. The first for loop is running for n times. N minus 1 means n times only. And the second for loop is also running for n minus 1 means n times only. So n minus 1 multiplied by n minus 1 is nothing but n square minus 2n minus plus 1. Correct? Yes. So what is the biggest number here? N square. So hence the total time complexity will become O of n square. And as you saw, the constraint for n was 10 power 5. So if n is 10 power 5, n square will become 10 power 10. And you know beyond 10 power 8, it might give you TLE. So hence we need to optimize in this case. And if you submit this solution, you will definitely get TLE. So let's see the same code. We will initialize the nums length and we are running our first for loop from I0 to n minus 1 and initializing the sum with nums of I. Inside it we are running the second for loop from j plus 1 so that I and j will hold to two different points and minimum length will be 2. Okay, so here we don't need to check for that minimum length condition, and if anywhere sum modulo k is equal to 0, hence we have found the subarray which is a multiple of k and we can return then and there true. Otherwise, after coming out of the both for loop, we can say we have not found, so we will return false here. Now let's submit this. If you will submit this, you will get TLE for sure. And hence as expected TLE is there because the time constraint here is 10 power 10 and beyond 10 power 8 it is not safe. Whenever we talk about optimization, we always know 4 different patterns in arrays. And what are those? Those are first 2 pointers, second sliding window, third prefix sum, and fourth cadence. And all these patterns we have already discussed in our very first lecture of the playlist. If you don't know when to apply what, you can go there and check it. Now let's see in brief here. 2 pointer we always apply when the array is sorted and we can decide which pointer to move ahead. And one more thing, we need exactly those 2 numbers and nothing in between. Sliding window we use whenever from a particular point to particular point we want everything in between, means every number, and we want to do summation, multiplication or any operation we want to do. Prefix sum we apply whenever we want the continuous summation and in between we want subarray sum. Okay, and the question might ask you ki count number of such subarrays where you might need the help of hash map, or sometimes you might simply have to answer the queries from this index to this index, what is the summation, etc. And cadence we apply whenever we have negative number in that array. Okay, if you remember the constraint, all numbers were positive, so hence we can ignore cadence algorithm. Yes, we can ignore 2 pointer because here we don't want the 2 points only, we want the subarray here. Okay, now let's see sliding window or prefix sum, because both sliding window and prefix sum help us to find the continuous subarray sum, but sliding window only help us to find the summation greater than equal to a target value. But here we are not looking for summation greater than equal to target value. Here we are looking for if the summation is divisible by k. How it is different? Let's see. Suppose I am saying I don't want summation greater than 12. Okay, and if the summation of some numbers from a left pointer to right pointer, we found, let's say 3, 5 and 5. Okay, and we want summation 12. So when we added first 3, then we saw ki no, we want more. So and let's start the R pointer here also. So first we added this 3 and we saw ki target is 12. We still need more elements. So what we will do, we will only shift or expand the right pointer ahead. Now we found total summation 8. Still we need more. Now expand. Now we saw that we need smaller solution, smaller answer. Why? Because the total summation has become 13 and we want 12. Okay, so hence what we do? We shrinked, and for shrinking we move this pointer. Okay, now we again found it is 10, it is less. So suppose there are more elements like 2. So now what we will do? We will move this R pointer only, and now we found that yes, 12 number is there. So basically sliding window is only needed when you have to find the less than or equal to sum. But here, even if the number is greater than target value, that still be divisible by k. Why? Because suppose the number is 12, and you know 12 is divisible by 12 also, 12 is divisible by 24 also, by 36 also, etc. So you don't know here till what number to expand and where to stop or from where to shrink. Okay, so hence when we don't know till where to stop, in those cases wherever you found the multiple and divisible rules, you cannot apply sliding window, because sliding window, the idea based on simple rule, less than equal to k, finding a summation but not divisible. So hence we will ignore sliding window also along with 2 pointer and cadence, and we will go with prefix sum. Now let's see how prefix sum will help. You know the prefix sum idea is prefix sum stores the summation, like it indicates every index summation indicates the summation from 0 index to that index. So 0th element will have the summation from the array from 0 to that index, that is nothing but 23. Yes. Now first index will have summation from 0 to that index, that is nothing but 25. Yes. Now this index will have the summation from 0 to this index, that is nothing but 29. Similarly, this index will have the summation from 0 to this index, and that is nothing but 35, and hence last one is 42. Okay, but how this summation from starting will help us? Yes, they will. Even if in between some subarray has summation 6 na, still it will help. Let's see how. What do you think? This index would have saved the summation from 0 index to here? Yes or no? Yes, 29. Yes. And this index would have saved the summation from 0 to here only? Yes or no? Yes. So can I say this 29 and 23 actually giving me the difference 6, and 6 is divisible by 6? Yes? Yes. So in between this 29 and 23, I have found a subarray of size 2 having summation 6. So hence this is how the prefix sum will help us, even though it is storing summation from 0 index to that index. But 0 to this index and 0 to 0 index, when we will subtract this, we will get the summation equal to 6, which is multiple of 6. So hence prefix sum idea can help us. But if you remember in the good array definition, along with this summation 2 4 plus 2 6 should be multiple of 6, there was one more condition, that size should be minimum 2. Size should be minimum 2. And here, as it is the optimized approach using the prefix sum, so we prefer doing this with a single for loop. So if we are using a single for loop and at some time we are standing here at 4, suppose, okay, I am standing here at 4. So how will I keep a track of the previous summation index? Y index is required? Y index is required. Suppose 23 and I found 6. Okay, so prefix sum for 23 will be 23 and prefix sum till here will be 29. Of course, the difference is 6. Yes, 6 is divisible by 6. Yes, yes, yes. But if you will think, 6 I have found, but the length is not 2 na. The length is not 2. So how will I keep a track? Even though I have the difference, I have found the difference, but how will I keep a track that is at a minimum distance? For that, we need to keep the indexes also. We need to store the indexes for that. So means for 23, I have to store the index as 0. For 25, I have to store index 1. And for 29, I have to store index what? What? 2. Yes. When I found 29, what element I want? So can I say, hey, I have found 29. I am looking for this k. So if I will subtract this 6 na, if I found 23 in my array, so I can say in between 23 to 29, 6 is sitting somewhere, or a number which is properly divisible by k is sitting somewhere. Yes. Yes. So if I can found 23, yes, I found. And what is the index for that? Index is 0. So can I say my current index is 2, my previous index is 0, so difference is 2. So can I say I have found a subarray which is divisible by k and having the length minimum 2? Yes. So hence only prefix sum won't help here. We need one more data structure which will be saving or storing our indexes here. So what do you think? What data structure can help us to store summation and their index. What? Yes, hash map. Yes, prefix sum will be key and indexes will be their values, and we can retrieve those things in O of 1, because when we will be at 29 and I want to search for 29 minus k na 23. So if we will take a hash map there, then the hash map will help us to retrieve the 23 position with the index in O of 1 time complexity. So hence using a hash map with prefix sum is the optimized approach here. Now let's do the code for this. Like how can we code for this? Okay, so I need a map here. Okay, I need a map and I found 23, correct? So for 23, what I will do, for 23 I want to save the index here. So what I will say, hey, I have found a summation 23 and for 23 I have index 0. Okay, now I want a for loop na, so that it will traverse in the whole array. Yes, so what I will say, I will run a for loop. So for int I is equal to 0 to I less than nums dot length, yes, and I plus plus, yes. Now what I want to do, I want to have a track of prefix sum, so I want to make a prefix sum variable also. What? Prefix sum variable with 0, yes, and inside this what I will do, prefix sum plus is equal to nums of I. So now initially my prefix sum will become 23. Okay, yes. So what I want to look in the map, so in the map I will say ki, hey, do you have 23 minus 6, means do you have 17 in the map? Why? Because if I have 17 in the map, so in between of course 6 would have come, then only 17 plus 6 would have become 23 na? Yes or no? Yes. But tell me one thing, I have said 17, 2 and 4. Okay, so you would have found 17 summation here, you would have found 19 summation here, and you would have found 23, and at 23 you can say ki, yes, I have 17, so I can say yes. So do you think you should search for the difference? Do you think you should search for a difference? Let's see why I'm saying this. Suppose you have 11 in the array. After this you have 5, you have 7, okay, and then you have, let's suppose, 6. Okay, so what is the summation here till 11, summation till here 16, summation till here, what is this? Come on, summation till here 23, yes, and summation till here 29, yes or no? Yes. So if you will use the difference formula only, ki 29 minus 6 you want to look for, so you will say, yes, I found 23. Yes, I found 23, but in between the length is not 2. So hence it will not be a part. And you will say, no, you have not found anything. But do you think only the difference 6 will be a multiple of 6? Or 12 can also be a multiple of 6? Or 18 can also be a multiple of 6? Yes, instead of subtraction, don't you think you should have used a modulo operator? Why I am saying? This is 29 na? So 29 modulo 6 is what? Come on, 29 modulo 6 is what? 5? Yes or no? Yes. Again, 23 modulo 6, 5, yes. 16 modulo 6, what is this? Come on, 4, yes. And 11 modulo 6, that is nothing but 5, yes. That is 5, yes. So basically, what I am saying, ki when I will find this 5 na, if you see here, I found 5, I will store 5 instead of prefix sum, okay, because we just saw prefix sum difference has not helped me. So what I will store 5, ki hey, I have found some summation which is having modulo 5 and the index is 0, okay. Next time I will say I found 16, so I will not store 16, no, I saw ki hey, with 16 na, modulo is 4, so can you please check, have we found modulo anywhere, modulo 4, so no, we have not found. So let's store and index 1. Okay. Now next time 23. With 23 also modulo 5. So you will say, yes, this 5 I have seen earlier. Where you have seen? Here at 0 index. Here at 0 index. So hence I will say that this 5 I have found at a index 0. So this index is 0, 1, 2, 2 and the previous index is 0. So the difference is 2. So length is valid. And anyhow, if you will see, what is this 2 length summation? 12. It is not 6, 12. And hence this 12 is multiple of k. So I can say ki yes, I have found a subarray with minimum length 2 and summation properly divisible by k or multiple of k. Correct? So what we will put in the map? in map we have to put the remainder instead of the summation, correct? So we will first find the remainder. So int rem is equal to prefix sum till now modulo k. Whatever is the modulo, we will say ki if map dot contains ki if in map I have this remainder, then what I want to check, I have to check for the length also, na? Yes, ki summation to satisfied. Why? Because if I have found the same remainder before, means in between I have found the summation which is multiple of k, but I have to check for the length. So what I have to check, ki if the length, how I'll find I minus what? Value of that remainder which is sitting in the map. So I will get map dot get what? With this remainder. If this is greater than equal to 2, I can say yes. So I will return true. Yes. Or else what I will do? What is our task? Else our task is to put that in our map. What? So we will put map dot put. What we have to put? Remainder, not prefix sum. Remainder with the index. Correct? Yes. So basically this code will give us our final answer by just taking O of n time complexity, and space complexity will be O of n or k. Think, what will be our space complexity? Space complexity will be O of k. Why? Because in our map the keys are only remainder of k, and remainder of k will be from 0 to k minus 1. Yes. So hence the unique keys only will be at max k. So space complexity will be O of k. Now one more thing I want to discuss here. Suppose our nums has 2 and 4. Only this. Only. So what you will do? For 2 you will find 2 modulo 6. So you find only 2. But 2 you don't have in the map. So you will put yes for index 0. Now you will sum this 4, total becomes 6, 6 modulo 6, you will say 0. Do we have 0? No, you don't have. So you will put this remainder 0 with index 1. Yes. So this will say ki no, you don't have. Okay. And you will come out of this loop. You will come out of this array. But do you think you don't had the subarray with length 2 and summation multiple of 6? No, you had. But where you failed? When you found this summation 6, right? You looked for what? Modulo 6, you looked for remainder 0, but you don't had the remainder 0 here. Yes, you don't had. But what if you had? Because to return true you have to add 0 earlier. Yes, you have to. So basically when you will initialize map, in your map you have to initialize this with 0. Now with what index? You cannot insert 0 index. No. So hence with index minus 1. And let's see how this minus 1 index will help us to calculate the length. When you reach this 2 plus 4 6, so remainder you found 0 and you were checking for do we have 0 here in this? Yes. So it will say yes I have. What is the index for that? You will say minus 1. And what is my current index? You will say 1. So 1 minus minus 1 will become 2, and yes, it satisfies the rule. And if you will see 2 plus 4 is 6 and it is having the length 2. So hence it is valid. So when you are creating map, the simple rule, put this 0 with index minus 1. So now let's code for this. We have to create a map, correct? Map of integer and integer value also, because we will store the index. Name it map with new hash map. Yes, I have created the hash map. Now what I want in my map, I want to put what? 0 with index minus 1. Yes. Now what I want to run a for loop from int I is equal to 0 to I less than nums dot length. Yes. And what? I plus plus. Now what we will do? We want to calculate the sum also. So for sum, we want the variable int prefix sum. We will initialize with 0, and inside this what we will do? Int I is equal to 0. My bad. Yes. And inside this what we want? We want keep prefix sum plus is equal to nums of I. After adding this, we have to check the remainder. So int rem is equal to prefix sum modulo k, because that will return our remainder. And now we have to find this remainder in our map. So what we will do? If our map dot contains key what? Remainder. If it is true, then what we have to look for? If it is true, then we have to look for the length. So how we will check length? We will check I minus this difference minus the previous one. Previous one is stored in the map. So we will get map dot get what? I want to get the value of remainder. If this is greater than equal to what? If this is greater than equal to 2, we can say ki yes, it satisfies the condition and we can simply return true. Okay. Now what if the map does not contain our value, correct? So if the map does not contain the key, so we will put this key. So we will say map dot put what? We will put remainder with that index I. Yes. So now after coming out of this for loop, we can say if we have not found any true till now, so we can simply return false then and there. Now we can run this. Sorry, my bad spelling. So now we can run this and you can see the test cases are passing, and so we will submit our code also. And as you can see, it's passed with 94% and hence it is more optimized solution because taking O of n time complexity and space O of k. Now here is your code in Python if you are from Python background, and here is your code in C++ if you are from C++ background. So now with this we can go in our Rising Brain sheet and we can mark the next question as to be done. So I hope you guys are doing with me. If yes, do let me know in the comment section by commenting solved or understood, so that I'll get to know you guys are solving along with me. So that's it. I hope this video was helpful and you understood each and every concept from brute force to optimize, that to pattern wise, when to apply what pattern. And if you really feel all these pattern wise playlist is helpful, then don't forget to share with your friends and don't forget to like and hit that subscribe button if you have not subscribed yet. So that's it. Let's meet in another video with some more interesting topic and questions. So then keep learning, take care of yourself and your family.